You're into the action, Lions faithful. You're tuned in to Lions News Fan Report, and I've got an adrenaline-pumping update that you won't want to miss. Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe to Lions News Fan Report so you never miss a single beat from the Motor City trenches. Now, let's talk about a developing storyline that has every Detroit fan on edge. Head coach Dan Campbell's squad has shown up to OTAs looking more like a skeleton crew than the juggernaut we expected. 22 players either absent or limited, and whispers of what it means for our title aspirations are already swirling. Imagine stepping onto the practice field and seeing familiar faces missing from the lineup. Playmakers who were integral to last season's surge now sitting out drills, or walking gingerly through walkthroughs. On day 3 of OTAs, the official limited inactive list included stalwarts like DL Miles Adams, CB Terrion Arnold, LB Derek Barnes, S. Brian Branch, LB Jack Campbell, CB Khalil Dorsey, OL Miles Frazier, and a host of others, including WR Amon-Ra St. Brown and RB David Montgomery. That's a who's who of talent, and suddenly Detroit's vaunted depth chart is looking thin enough to sail a ship through. Coach Campbell hasn't shied away from addressing the situation. Some of them are so minor, we're just trying to get some of these guys right physically, he explained, emphasizing the conservative approach to every little tweak and strain. On the surface, caution seems wise. Spring practice is the ideal time to nurse minor dings rather than risk a serious setback. But dig a little deeper, and the question emerges. Could too much protectiveness backfire once the pads come on for real in training camp? To put this into perspective, consider last year's training camp when Detroit arrived at full strength, firing on all cylinders with minimal downtime for key contributors. By contrast, this spring's list of sidelined or limited players, 16 turn, according to one report, with some sources suggesting even more absences, paints a very different picture. BVM Sports. Among those excused were promising rookies like Isaac Tesla and veterans such as Alim McNeil, whose return from injury was supposed to bolster the defensive front. Instead, the Lions are scrambling to keep enough bodies on the field just to run basic positional drills. The implications go far beyond the practice field. When your top edge rusher or nickel corner isn't rotating in 11 on 11, it skews the evaluation of everyone else. Who looks ready to step up? Which under the radar player might seize this opportunity and crash the depth chart? Could a previously overlooked defensive tackle suddenly emerge as a starter simply because the usual suspects are nursing tight hamstrings? These are the burning questions Detroit's coaching staff must answer, and quickly, before the first padded session arrives in late July. But let's zoom out even further. What does this cautious summer portend for the season opener? If nearly a quarter of the roster has been held back this long, is it reasonable to expect the Lions to be firing on all cylinders come Week 1? Or is the plan to stagger the returns, unleashing fresh bodies gradually to ensure peak performance? Down the stretch? Some insiders believe Dan Campbell's staff is orchestrating a marathon, not a sprint, prioritizing long-term health over early-season fireworks. Still, fans can't help but wonder, when the lights go on at Ford Field, will Detroit have the horsepower to keep pace with the league's elite? Behind the scenes, you can bet rival front offices are watching closely. Could the Chicago Bears or Green Bay Packers exploit these early vulnerabilities? Is it possible that opposing coordinators will game plan specifically for a Detroit defense, still finding its footing? And on the flip side, could this disciplined, health-first approach be the secret weapon that keeps the Lions charging deeper into January than ever before? With every practice session and every media scrum, the narrative is evolving, and the stakes have never been higher. The big reveal about which players will actually be ready to suit up for the opener could drop at any moment. And the ripple effects on Detroit's title hunt will be felt across the NFC North. Consider this just the opening chapter in what promises to be one of the most intriguing off-seasons in franchise history. Could this be the turning point that defines the Lions' destiny? All right, Lions News Fan Report family, if you haven't hit that like button and subscribed yet, Do it now so you don't miss a single update on Detroit's quest for glory. Now, as we pick up this saga, let's dive into the real meat of what Dan Campbell's injury chess match means for our season and how the comeback timeline for those sidelined stars could reshape the NFC North. Picture it. The pads finally go on in training camp, and the question burning in every fan's mind is which of those 22 limited or absent players will be ready to charge into battle. Sources inside the building hint at staggered return dates. Some key contributors could trickle back by mid-August, while others might not see game action until September. Could this phased approach be Campbell's masterstroke, ensuring each athlete peaks when it matters most? Or is there a risk that the offense and defense won't gel until weeks into the regular season? Let's talk specifics. Take our dynamic slot receiver, whose absence during spring drills left coaches scrambling for route running reps. Word is he's targeting a return just before Week 1 after an aggressive rehab schedule. If he hits that mark, Detroit's aerial attack will regain its vertical threat, forcing defenses to account for every inch of the field. But if that comeback slips, the Lions might hesitate to dial up deep shots, playing it safe and leaning on a short passing game that could stifle big play potential. Could this hesitation be precisely what opponents will exploit in those early matchups? Turning to the trenches, imagine our veteran interior lineman, a rock-solid anchor whose snap count was deliberately limited in OTAs. Behind closed doors, he's been subjected to advanced biomechanical testing to ensure his reconstructed knee can handle double teams. Some believe his return could coincide with the Kansas City preview game, offering a mid-preseason litmus test. If he can hold his ground against one of the league's supreme pass-rushing duos in that scrimmage, it could bode well for our Week 1 opponent. But if he still shows rust, might Campbell hold him out of the opener, tipping his hand to only unleash him when absolutely certain? Let's not forget the defensive depth chart shuffle. Early in camp, unheralded rookies have seized extra snaps, flashing quick feet and surprising power. Could one of these young guns cement a starting role if the projected veteran returns are delayed? Some insiders whisper that a fourth-round pick has been working tirelessly to earn every coach's attention, planting seeds for a midseason breakout. Fans are already asking, is this the dawn of Detroit's next great defensive talent, or will the old guard reclaim their spots once medically cleared? Offensively, the running game stands at a crossroads. Our star back, who logged limited reps in the spring, is rumored to be slated for a full return by early September. If he's back in time for the road opener, defenses will have to balance the threat of his power rush with our improved passing schemes. But if he misses those initial weeks, could backup tailbacks finally get a chance to shine, forging a committee approach that might actually keep legs fresh over a grueling 17-game stretch? It's a strategic gamble. Load up early and risk wear and tear, or ease into form and hope the early losses don't derail playoff hopes. And here's a twist few are talking about: the mental edge. Camp insiders report that Coach Campbell has turned this injury saga into a motivational rallying cry, preaching unity and resilience. The players who have practiced all spring feel battle-tested, hungry to prove they can carry the load. Could this underdog mentality ignite a deeper team chemistry, spraying over the uncertainty of who's truly game-ready? Some believe that adversity breeds champions, and if Detroit emerges healthy and battle-hardened by mid-season, we could see a ferocious run that no one predicted. As for the final piece of the puzzle, keep an eye on that mid-August press conference. Rumor has it the front office will announce a consolidated update on multiple return timelines, setting our expectations for weeks 1 through 4. Will they stick the landing with precise dates, or will they keep things intentionally vague to preserve strategic advantage? Either way, the ripple effects will be felt immediately. Ticket sales could surge, opposing teams will adjust game plans, and the national media will be all over Detroit's health report. What do you think, Lions faithful? Are you on team full throttle week 1 or do you trust Dan Campbell's long game and staggered returns? Which absence worries you most, and which surprise performer are you betting on to step up? Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to read your predictions and spark that fiery debate. If this breakdown got you fired up, smash that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and share this video with every Detroit fan you know. Thanks for watching, and stay hungry, because Motor City's roaring back stronger than ever.